The wind blew softly across the icy plain of Nerith, a distant moon at the edge of the galactic concord. The surface was quiet, covered in silver dust that reflected the light of two pale suns. Beneath that calm surface lay something hidden for thousands of years. Something that had been waiting in silence. The dig site stood like a cluster of metal towers half buried in the snow. Scientists from many worlds worked there, each from a different race, with shining eyes and strange skin. Machines hummed, scanners glowed, and drones moved back and forth as the team searched for the source of the strange signal detected. Weeks earlier, among them worked a single human, a man named Liam Holt. He was not a scientist or soldier. He was a technician, hired to maintain the power systems and keep the air filters clean. Most of the alien scholars ignored him. To them, humans were a forgotten race from a ruined world. Earth was gone, destroyed by its own wars centuries ago. Still, Liam did his work quietly. He spoke little, kept his tools close, and watched the others with calm eyes. He had seen many worlds in his short life, working from station to station, fixing what others broke. He never imagined he would one day stand in a place where history itself slept under the ice. That day began like any other. The air was thin and cold inside the outpost. The alien linguists gathered in the main chamber, their voices rising in confusion. The lead researcher, a tall being named Turn, called for silence. Turn's scales shimmered in shades of blue as he adjusted the translator device on his neck. "We have unlocked the vault door," Turn said in his calm, layered voice. "But the data inside is in a format no system can read. The symbols are old, not part of any known code." The team leaned forward as holograms of ancient script floated in the air. Lines curved and twisted in elegant shapes. Every translator failed to convert them. Some called it machine noise. Others said it was a dead dialect. One of the younger assistants, a bright green scholar named Velra, shook her head. "It cannot be Concord standard. It does not match any root language from the archive," Turn agreed. "This writing predates the Concord itself. Perhaps it is a lost alien culture. If we can decode it, we might learn who lived here before the rise of the core worlds." Liam stood at the back, holding a tool case, listening as he waited for orders. His gaze fell on the floating symbols. Something inside him stirred. The curves, the angles, the rhythm, they looked familiar. He took a step closer. "Excuse me," he said softly. "May I see that pattern again?" Turn turned, surprised. "You human technician? This is advanced linguistic research, not maintenance." "I know," Liam said, "but those marks look a lot like old letters from Earth." The room went silent. Several scholars laughed in disbelief. Velra tilted her head. "Impossible. Human languages were lost centuries ago. The archives hold only fragments, and none match this style." Liam smiled faintly. "My grandfather taught me some old words when I was young. He said they were from a time when people used paper instead of data tablets. Can I try to read it?" Turn folded his arms. "If you wish. It will not harm the project to let you attempt it." Liam stepped closer to the hologram. The letters glowed softly, carved long ago by careful hands. He traced the shapes with his finger through the light. Slowly, he spoke the sounds that came to him, broken and unsure at first. Then clearer as memory returned. HWGTW, Gigi Ardina in Girdigum, Ode Sininga, Raim Jeffrenon. The room grew still. The air vibrated faintly, as if the sound itself had weight. The machines flickered, reacting to his voice. Turn's eyes widened. "What language is that?" he asked. "Old English," Liam said. "One of the first languages of Earth. It means something like, 'Listen. We have heard of the glory of the Spear Danes in days gone by.' It's from a poem called Beowulf." Velra's glowing eyes widened. "Poem? You mean this is not a code, but art?" Liam nodded. "Art, story, and memory. That's how humans kept history before the machines." The team looked at one another. For them, words were only tools for trade and command. The idea of a story carrying power was strange. Turn moved closer. "Can you continue?" Liam hesitated. I can try. But this part of the text doesn't seem the same. The rhythm is different. These letters are older, maybe even ceremonial. He read another line aloud, slow and careful. The words filled the chamber. This time, the lights of the vault changed. A low hum came from the walls as though something deep underground had awakened. The scientist stepped back. Alarms blinked. One of the drones reported an increase in magnetic activity below the surface. What did you do? Tern demanded. I just spoke the words, Liam said. I didn't touch anything. Velra checked her scanner. It's reacting to his voice frequency. The system is recognizing his speech pattern. Tern stared at Liam. You mean this language can command the vault? Liam frowned. I think it's not about command. It's recognition. Maybe whoever built this place made it respond to those who understand the old tongue. The vault door behind them began to open with a deep metallic sigh. Mist rolled out, revealing a narrow tunnel lined with ancient steel. Lights flickered on one by one, as if welcoming them. The team stared in disbelief. Turned to Liam again. You may lead. The vault seems to accept your presence. Liam adjusted his gloves and stepped forward. Inside the tunnel, the air was warmer, filled with a faint scent of metal and ozone. Strange patterns decorated the walls, more of the old script glowing faintly as he passed. He felt as if the place remembered him. Though he had never been there before, the path led to a circular chamber filled with smooth, black consoles and a tall pillar in the center. The pillar's surface rippled like liquid glass. Displaying moving symbols that changed as Liam entered, Velra examined her scanner again. Energy readings are stable. The core system seems to be active after all this time. How is that possible? Liam looked at the writing. Maybe it was never really off. Maybe it was waiting for a human voice. He approached the pillar. The symbols rearranged into readable letters this time in a mix of English and the ancient language. The translation device on Tern's belt failed to process it. Static filled the air. The text read, Access granted. Lineage recognized. Earthborn. The scholars gasped. Tan whispered, This machine knows what you are. Liam stepped back, his heart racing. Then this place must be from old Earth colonies. Maybe from before the Concord existed. They began exploring the chamber. Holographic panels came alive, showing maps of star systems long gone. Names appeared that no alien recognized: Sol, Luna, Mars, Europa. The lost cradle of humankind had left its mark here, hidden under alien soil. Velra touched one of the maps. Is this your home system? Liam nodded slowly. Yes, that was where everything began. For a moment, silence filled the room. Even the machines seemed to listen. Then Tern said, If this vault holds records of human origin, the Concord must know. You have rediscovered something that could change how we see history. Liam thought about that. He looked at the glowing lines, at the voices of his ancestors reaching across centuries. Maybe, he said softly, but some things are meant to be remembered, not owned. Velra frowned. What do you mean? Languages carry more than data, Liam said. They carry emotion. You cannot store that in a file. You must feel it, live it, speak it.
Nice.
Tern crossed his arms. That is poetic, human, but science demands proof. Liam smiled. Then let science listen. He placed his hand on the pillar and spoke again in Old English. The sound rolled through the chamber, smooth and strong. The walls lit up like dawn. Every console began to hum outside. On the icy surface, machines buried for ages began to rise. Small drones of ancient design lifted from the snow, powered by long dormant cores. The research camp trembled as the air filled with glowing light. The alien scholars ran to the entrance, watching as the forgotten machines hovered silently above the plain. They formed a circle, pointing their sensors toward the vault. Tern's voice shook. What command did you give them? None, Liam said. I just said rise. He turned to the scientists, his voice calm. You see, the words are not a code. They are alive. They connect with intent. The old language was not just communication. It was creation. Tern stared at him with wide eyes. Then this is not just history. This is technology. Liam nodded. Maybe both. Maybe our ancestors built their machines to understand meaning, not programming. They made them to listen to purpose, Belra whispered. You mean words themselves have power? Liam looked at the glowing drones outside. They always have. The machines hovered silently, waiting. The scholars stood in awe, realizing they had uncovered more than ruins. They had found proof that humanity's past was not lost. It had only been sleeping, waiting for someone who remembered how to speak. Tern turned to Liam, voice full of wonder. If this is true, the Concord will have to rewrite history. Humans may not be the forgotten race we believed. Liam smiled faintly. Then it is time they remember. As the suns of Nerith sank behind the horizon, the frozen plains glowed with the light of reborn machines. The wind carried the echoes of a language that had been silent for centuries, and at the heart of it stood a single human speaking for a world long gone, proving that even in the cold of distant stars, the voice of Earth still had meaning. The news of the Nerith discovery spread quickly through the outer colonies. Within days, transmissions from the Concord Council flooded the communication channels. Every major species wanted access to the vault. They wanted to understand how an ancient human language could awaken forgotten machines and respond only to a human voice. Liam did not enjoy the attention. He had spent most of his life working quietly, moving from one repair job to another. Now, people called him the speaker of the past. Some even said he was the key to lost power. He ignored the rumors and focused on the research. Working side by side with Tern and Velra to learn more about the vault's message, inside the chamber, the pillar of living metal continued to hum with faint energy. The words carved into its surface had shifted since the first activation. More text appeared each day, slowly forming lines that none of the alien scholars could read. Tern stood before the pillar, his tail curling with tension. Every translation program fails, he said. It is not just that the symbols are old. They seem to change based on who looks at them. Belra nodded. When I scan them, they rearrange into a pattern of colors. When Liam looks, they form words. The vault recognizes him. Liam rested his hand against the console. Maybe it remembers the way humans used to think. Maybe it reacts to memory itself. Tern tilted his head. Memory is not a measurable unit. Not yet, Liam said. The scholars around them recorded every movement. But the more data they gathered, the less they understood. The vault refused to behave like any known machine. It did not answer commands or respond to commands from synthetic voices. Only when Liam spoke did it act. One evening, after the others left, Liam stayed behind in the chamber. The lights dimmed to a warm glow. The pillar pulsed softly, almost like a heartbeat. He sat on the floor, feeling the vibration through his hands. He thought about his grandfather, the old man who had taught him poems from a time when people still sang by campfires. Back then, the words had sounded strange, but now they felt alive. He whispered again, HWGTWG Jardina in Girdagom. The pillar brightened. A soft voice filled the air. It was not human, not alien, but something between. The sound was calm and even, like water flowing over stone. Lineage confirmed, it said. Protocol awakened. Please identify purpose. Liam stood slowly. I am Liam Holt. I found this place by accident. I just wanted to understand. Understanding is the first path, the voice replied. Do you seek knowledge or command? I seek truth, he said. The lights shimmered. Then listen. Images filled the air. Holograms formed around him, showing vast cities under blue skies. Oceans stretching far beyond the horizon, and towers rising from green fields. He recognized it at once. It was Earth, alive and whole. The voice continued before the fall. The makers of Earth created the living words. They shaped sound into code and code into power. Only those who carried the memory of the language could awaken it again. Liam felt his chest tighten. So this vault was built by them? Yes, the voice said. It was left for the descendants, hidden from those who sought to erase the old ways. You are the first to answer the call. He looked around in awe. Why me? I'm just a worker. I'm not a leader or a scholar. The tongue does not choose rank, the voice said. It chooses memory. You remember what others forgot? The holograms faded. Liam stood alone again, the pillar dimming to silence. He felt a strange peace in his heart, mixed with a growing fear. The vault was not only a piece of technology. It was a messenger from the past, and it was watching him. When the next morning came, the entire camp was filled with new visitors. Small ships had landed during the night, carrying Concord inspectors and security officers. Tern met them at the entrance, his translator flashing. The lead officer, tall being named Saren, spoke in a deep metallic tone. The council has ordered this site to be placed under Concord protection. No one is to interact with the vault without permission. Tern tried to argue. We are scientists, not soldiers. Our goal is discovery, not control. Saren's eyes glowed cold blue. Discovery often leads to power. Power must be regulated. Liam watched from behind. He could feel tension growing. The soldiers moved through the tunnels, scanning everything, placing security locks on doors. The vault chamber was sealed under their control. Velra approached Liam quietly. They are afraid, she whispered. They think the vault is a weapon. It isn't, Liam said. It's something greater than a weapon. It's knowledge. Knowledge can destroy as easily as it can build, she replied. Later that day, Saren requested a demonstration. Tern tried to warn him that the system only responded to Liam, but the officer insisted. Inside the vault, they stood before the pillar. Saren activated his translator and repeated the phrase Liam had used earlier. The words came out wrong, harsh and broken. The pillar stayed dark. Saren frowned. It does nothing, Liam spoke softly. It listens, not obeys. You can't force it. Saren turned sharply. Then make it listen. Open its data core. I can't command it either, Liam said. It reacts to meaning. If your purpose is control, it stays silent. Saren's eyes narrowed. That is convenient. Perhaps you are hiding something. Before Liam could reply, the pillar pulsed again, this time glowing bright red. A warning tone echoed through the room. The soldiers raised their weapons in panic. Tern shouted for calm. The voice of the vault spoke again, louder now. Conflict detected. Threat to knowledge integrity. Defense mode active. Energy crackled across the walls. The machines outside the base lifted from the snow once more, forming a perimeter around the dig site. Saren's team froze as their scanners overloaded. Stand down, Tern shouted. The system is protecting itself. Liam stepped forward. It reacts to danger. Everyone lower your weapons. The soldiers hesitated, then obeyed. Slowly, the red light faded to gold. The drones returned to stillness. Saren glared at Liam. You control it. Don't, Liam said. It trusts humans. It doesn't trust fear. Tern nodded in agreement. He is right. This vault responds to emotion, not authority. That means it carries sentience or something close to it. Saren left without another word, but everyone in the room could feel the change. From that moment, the site was under watch. Drones patrolled the halls, and every word was recorded at night. Liam lay awake in his small bunk. He could hear the hum of the vault through the walls. It was like a voice whispering, just out of reach. He closed his eyes and tried to rest, but dreams filled his mind. He saw cities of light and people speaking the old language together, shaping the air with sound. In the morning, Velra brought him food and a message. The council has summoned you, she said. They want you to travel to the central world and demonstrate your ability. Liam looked uneasy. They will try to use this. They already are, she said. But if you refuse, they will still take the vault apart. You are the only one who can protect it. He sighed and nodded. Then I will go. Before leaving, he returned to the vault one last time. The pillar glowed faintly as he approached. I have to leave, he said. They want to study you, the voice replied softly. Study is not always understanding. I know, he said, but maybe I can show them what this means. Then carry the word, it said. Speak truth where others hear only power. He felt warmth on his palm as the pillar's surface rippled. A small crystal formed and dropped into his hand. It was smooth and transparent, glowing with inner light. "What is this?" he asked. "A seed of the word," the voice answered. "If this place falls, the memory will remain. Protect it." Close his hand around the crystal. "I will." When he stepped outside, Tern and Velra were waiting beside a small Concorde shuttle. The suns were low, casting long shadows over the snow. The machines that had risen from the ice stood silent once more, forming a ring around the dig site like guardians. Velra looked at him. "You are becoming part of history, Liam." He smiled faintly. "History is just memory written down. Let's make sure it is written right." As the shuttle lifted from the surface, he watched the vault grow smaller behind them. The light from the pillars shone through the ice, bright enough to be seen from orbit. On the journey to the Concorde capital, Liam studied the crystal. Sometimes it pulsed with faint symbols. When he whispered the old words, it answered with soft light, as if it understood. Tern sat across from him, watching quietly. "Do you think they will let you keep it?" "I don't know," Liam said. "But I think this is only the beginning." The vault was one voice. "There might be more." Tern looked out the window at the endless stars. "If there are more, the Concorde will never be the same again." Liam nodded. "Maybe that's what the old words were for. To remind us that everything changes, but meaning stays." The ship entered faster than light travel, the stars stretching into streams of color. Liam leaned back and closed his eyes. The hum of the engines blended with the faint rhythm of the crystal. He did not know what awaited him on the capital world. But one thing was clear. The forgotten language of Earth was no longer silent. It had found a voice again, and through him, it would speak to the galaxy. As the ship vanished into the dark between stars, the vault on Nerith pulsed once more. The ancient machines whispered in a language no one else could hear, repeating a promise made long ago, words that carried through metal, air, and time. The journey to the Concorde capital took 5 days through deep space. Liam spent most of that time studying the small crystal the vault had given him. Its glow changed colors as if responding to his thoughts. When he whispered old words, the crystal shone brighter and faint shapes moved within it. It was like holding a piece of memory that could dream. Tern and Velra worked beside him on their data screens, preparing reports for the council. They recorded everything from the Nerith vault, the language patterns, the energy readings, and the reactions of the ancient machines. Every piece of data pointed to one conclusion. The vault did not follow ordinary science. It obeyed something older, something that connected emotion, intent, and sound. When their ship finally entered the capital's orbit, Liam saw a world unlike any he had ever imagined. The planet, called Astra Prime, was a shining network of floating cities. Silver towers rose above the clouds, linked by light bridges and air lanes filled with ships. The Concorde Council resided in the highest spire, known as the Hall of Unity. The ship landed on a broad platform surrounded by guards. Liam felt nervous as he stepped out. Thousands of eyes seemed to watch him from balconies and screens. He was no longer just a repair worker. He had become the human who awakened a language that machines could not translate. Tern walked beside him, his tail moving slowly in the air. "Remember, Liam, the Council is powerful, but also divided. Some will see the vault as a treasure of knowledge. Others will see it as a threat." "I'm not here to fight," Liam said. "I just want them to understand." Velra looked at him with concern. "Understanding is not what leaders seek. They seek control." The guards led them through shining halls filled with banners of different races. At the center of the great hall stood the council itself, a circle of representatives from 100 species. In the highest seat sat the High Chancellor, a tall, pale figure named Orin. His voice was calm and measured, carrying the weight of authority. "Liam Holt," he began, "you stand before the Concorde to explain the events on Nerith. You are said to have spoken words that activated lost technology. Do you confirm this?" Liam nodded. "Yes, sir. But the technology did not respond to control. It responded to purpose." Orin tilted his head slightly. "Explain." "The vault was built by humans long ago," Liam said. It recognized the language of our ancestors. When I spoke it, it came alive. It did not obey me because I was human. It reacted to meaning. It sensed my intent. A soft murmur passed through the council chamber. Several members whispered to their translators. Orin raised his hand for silence. We have reviewed the recordings. The machines on Nerith moved at your command. That is power. And power must be understood. It wasn't command, Liam said. The vault listened because I respected it. It responded because I wasn't trying to use it for war. An insectoid delegate from the Zolth race leaned forward. Are you saying emotion controls this system? Liam replied. Not emotion alone. Meaning, the words are shaped by intent. The vault knows the difference between creation and destruction. Another delegate, a large-scale being from the Drakkar species, growled softly. Such power could rewrite the laws of control. If humans can speak this code, you could rule over us. Tern spoke calmly. The human is not seeking power. He has offered cooperation. The discovery belongs to all. Orin's eyes focused on Liam again. Then prove it. Show us this living code. The guards brought forth a transparent cube. Inside it floated a fragment of Nerith's metal walls that had been removed for study. Its surface was covered with faint patterns of old letters. Liam placed the crystal on the table beside it. The crystal began to glow, reacting to his presence. He took a breath, steadying himself. Then he spoke in the old language, his voice clear and calm. Eris, rise and remember. The cube pulsed with light. The letters on its surface rearranged themselves into waves of motion. A hologram appeared above the table, showing the same blue world he had seen in the Vault Earth. The council chamber fell silent as oceans, forests, and cities appeared in the air. Orin stared in awe. This is not a projection. It carries energy signatures. What is it doing? Liam replied. It's showing memory. The vault's code remembers what was lost. It shares images from its data when someone speaks with honest intent. The delegates watched in amazement as the hologram shifted to scenes of people working together, building ships and launching them into space. Then it faded away, leaving only the soft glow of the crystal. Velra whispered, "It reacts to truth." Orin leaned back in his chair. Incredible. But if the code can respond to truth, it can also be twisted by lies. Liam shook his head. No, the vault locks itself when it senses deceit. It closes against greed and fear. The Drakkar delegate slammed his clawed hand on the table. Then it will never serve the Concord because the Concord is built on control. The chamber erupted into voices, some demanding the technology be shared, others warning it must be destroyed before it spreads. Orin raised his voice above the noise. Enough. We will examine this carefully. The session ended with no decision. Liam returned to his quarters, feeling heavy inside. He had come hoping to share the truth, but all they saw was another tool for power. Velra sat beside him as he looked out the window at the stars. They fear what they cannot measure, she said softly. They will not rest until they own it. They can't own meaning, Liam said. They can only lose it. At night, as the capital slept, someone knocked on his door. When he opened it, he found a woman standing there. She was human, tall and calm, dressed in a dark coat, marked with the symbol of the old Terran Union. Her eyes were sharp, but kind. My name is Mara Vale, she said. I represent the Human Preservation Network. I didn't know there was one, Liam said. There isn't, officially, she said with a faint smile. We are the few who remember our heritage. We have searched for traces of Earth for generations. What you found proves we were right. The old world left something behind. Liam hesitated. If you want the technology, I can't give it. She shook her head. We don't want to use it. We want to protect it. There are those who will twist it into a weapon. The Concord military is already preparing to study your vault. Tern and Velra entered the room behind her. They had heard the conversation. Tern frowned. If they seize the vault, they might destroy it in fear, Mara nodded. That is why we need to move fast. There are other vaults hidden across the galaxy. Nerith was only the first. The vault itself confirmed this through the old texts we intercepted. Liam's eyes widened. Other vaults? Yes, Mara said. The living code was spread among several worlds. Each vault holds part of the complete language. Together, they could restore the full memory of Earth. Turn looked thoughtful. Then the discovery is greater than we imagined. The vaults are pieces of a network. Velra asked, how do we find the others? Mara reached into her coat and handed Liam a small data card. This contains coordinates we traced from ancient star charts. The words you spoke activated hidden signals. Each signal points to another site. Liam stared at the card. If we go after them, the Concord will follow. They already are, Mara said. That is why you must move before they act. You are the only one who can open the vaults. Liam stood in silence. He looked at the crystal glowing on his desk. It pulsed slowly as if it agreed. He turned to Turn and Velra. If I do this, will you come with me? Turn nodded at once. Knowledge must be protected, not caged. Velra smiled. Besides, I want to see more of these human mysteries. Mara placed a hand on his shoulder. Then be ready. We leave before dawn. The next morning, alarms sounded across the capital. The council had ordered the immediate seizure of the Nerith data and all related materials. Guards were sent to arrest Liam for withholding classified technology. By the time they reached his quarters, the group was gone. A small cargo ship had already launched from the private docks, vanishing into hyperspace. Inside it, Liam sat at the controls while Turn monitored sensors, and Velra plotted the first destination from the data card. As the ship moved into the deep void, Mara stood beside him. Our first stop is on a world called Varenfor. It was once part of an ancient mining route. The signal there matches the same frequency as your crystal. Liam looked ahead at the stars. If the other vaults are anything like Nerith, we'll need to be careful. Each one will test us. Turn's scales shimmered faintly in the dim light. Then we will let the old words guide us. Velra leaned forward with excitement. Do you think they hold more machines, or something even greater? Liam glanced at the glowing crystal in his hand. Maybe they hold the rest of the story. The stars outside stretched into lines as the ship entered faster than light speed. Behind them, the Concord sent fleets to search for them, unaware that the real secret of the living code was not just power, but purpose. The vault on Nerith, far away and silent now, pulsed one last time, sending a faint signal into the darkness, a call to its distant siblings. Across forgotten worlds, ancient systems stirred, awakening after centuries of sleep. The ship cut through hyperspace, leaving streaks of blue light across the darkness. Liam stared at the crystal resting in his hand. It pulsed gently, as if sensing the journey ahead. He could feel a quiet rhythm like a heartbeat, and it reminded him of the first time he had spoken in the old language back on Nerith. That voice had awakened the machines. Now it seemed to be guiding them again. Mara sat beside him, adjusting the ship's navigation. Varenfor is a frozen planet, she said. The signal is faint, but it matches the frequency of the Nerith vault. If the texts are correct, this vault is older and more complex. Velra leaned over the console. Older doesn't mean safer. The Concord fleets are tracking us. If they catch us, they will try to take the crystal by force. Turn's scales shimmered faintly. Then we must move carefully. These vaults are not just technology. They are sentient. They recognize intent. We must speak only truth. Liam nodded. I understand. The first vault taught me that words carry meaning. They judge us before anything else. Hours later, Varenfor appeared on the screens. The planet was dark and silent, with frozen plains stretching across every visible continent. Sparse light came from a dim sun struggling to warm the surface. The signal they tracked pulsed faintly from a location deep beneath the ice. The team prepared to land. Mara guided the ship toward a canyon where the signal strength was highest. The winds whipped against the hull, making the metal creak. Liam could feel the hum of energy beneath the ice. It was alive, waiting. The shuttle touched down on a smooth plateau. Outside, the cold was sharp, biting through their suits. They moved quickly toward the signal, using scanners to guide them over fissures and ridges. The ice below them glimmered faintly, like frozen glass, and Liam felt the pull of ancient power as they approached a ridge. Finally, they reached a circular opening in the ice. Steam hissed as the cold air met the warmth below. The vault entrance was carved into the stone, decorated with patterns that matched the Nerith symbols. Liam's heartbeat quickened. This was another part of the network, waiting for him to speak. He approached the door, placing the crystal against the surface. It pulsed with light, brighter than he had ever seen. The symbols on the door shifted, aligning into recognizable words. Liam took a deep breath and spoke. "Rise and remember. Let truth guide your form." The ice shivered, and the door slowly opened. Warm air poured out, carrying the faint scent of metal and ancient earth. Inside, the chamber was enormous, filled with machines frozen in time. Towers of metal and glass glimmered with faint lights, waiting for someone to awaken them. Velra's eyes widened. "It's bigger than Nerith. I can't believe this scale." Tern stepped closer. "It is not just bigger. It is more intricate. The design shows multiple layers of systems, perhaps entire cities' worth of data stored in this vault." Liam walked among the machines, examining their surfaces. The language on the walls glowed faintly, responding to his presence. The crystal pulsed stronger, guiding him to a central console. "This is the core," Liam said. "Everything else is connected to it." Mara looked around cautiously. "Do you think it will awaken like the first vault?" "I hope so," Liam said. "But it will respond only if we are truthful and focused." He placed his hand on the console and spoke again in the old language. "Open and show the knowledge of Earth. Let the past guide the present." The machines stirred. Light coursed through their frames. Panels lit up with flowing symbols, and screens displayed images of cities, oceans, and forests. The holograms moved faster than the Nerith vault, showing entire networks of technology and life. Liam realized that this vault contained more than history. It held the designs of an entire civilization, preserved for those who could understand. Tern leaned forward. "This is incredible. The architecture, the machines, the energy systems. It is all integrated into the language. It is more than technology. It is a living network." Velra traced her finger through the air. "It responds to you, but not to me or Tern. Only humans can activate it fully." Liam nodded. "The language was built by humans, for humans. It judges intent and trustworthiness. Machines obey only the right purpose." The team explored further, discovering compartments with devices that could control energy, environmental systems, and even transport. The vault was designed to sustain life, not just store information. Liam realized that the ancients had been preparing for survival. Leaving behind a system that could restore the lost potential of Earth, suddenly alarms sounded outside the vault. The Concord fleets had arrived. They had tracked the signal and were preparing to seize the vault. Mara cursed under her breath. "They won't understand. They will see this as a weapon." Liam placed the crystal on the central console. "We don't need to fight. The vault will protect itself." Outside, drones and ships hovered, scanning the surface. The vault responded. Machines rose from the ice, forming a protective barrier around the entrance. They emitted waves of energy that prevented the Concord fleets from approaching. The shields held strong. Liam realized that the vault's defense system was intelligent. It responded only to the threat, not to blind force. Inside, the team continued exploring. Liam spoke again, activating panels that revealed schematics for cities and starships, energy systems, and communication networks. The language was not just words. It was a code embedded in sound, a living pattern that shaped matter, energy, and memory. Velra leaned over a console. "This is beyond anything we imagined. It is a blueprint for civilization." Tern studied the readings. "It is more than that. It is proof that humans were never weak or insignificant. We believed your species lost, but these vaults show the opposite." Liam felt pride, mixed with responsibility. It is proof that humans were never meant to disappear. Our words, our stories, our language, they carry more than meaning. They carry power and memory. Suddenly, a smaller console flickered. Symbols rearranged themselves into a new message, addressed specifically to Liam. It read, "The network is incomplete. Others must awaken the chain. Purpose guides the path." Mara looked at him. "There are more vaults?" "Yes," Liam said. "And they are waiting for someone who can speak the old words." "We are only at the beginning," Elra added. "The Concord will not wait. They will try to control this network." Liam nodded. "Then we need to act first. The vaults are not weapons. They are knowledge. If the wrong people take them, the meaning will be lost." The team worked quickly. Liam spoke in the old language, activating transport modules that could carry them to the next vault safely. Panels glowed, showing star systems connected by faint signals. Each location had its own frequency, waiting for a human to unlock it. As they prepared to leave, the Concord fleet outside began to fire. Energy beams struck the ice around the vault, causing explosions. The team ducked as shards of frozen metal and snow flew across the chamber. Liam placed his hands on the crystal. "Defend, but do not destroy." The machines responded immediately. Shields formed around the vault. Energy pulses deflected the Concord beams. The fleet faltered, unsure of how to penetrate a defense that was intelligent and adaptive. Tern muttered, "It recognizes you. It is alive in a way we cannot measure." Velra whispered, "I never thought language could be this powerful." Liam looked at the glowing crystal. "It is not power in the usual sense. It is understanding. The vault does not fight. It protects what is right." Mara smiled faintly. "Then we will carry it to the next vault. If we can awaken them, the story of Earth will continue." The Concord fleet, frustrated and confused, began to retreat. The team boarded their ship, carrying the crystal and knowledge from the vault. Liam watched the frozen planet below, knowing that its secrets were now safe in the hands of those who understood their meaning. As the ship launched, the vault pulsed one last time. Machines lowered their shields, returning to their silent watch. The ice glimmered under the faint light of the sun. Liam realized that the vault had accepted their purpose. They had proven themselves worthy outside. Stars stretched into streaks of color as they entered faster than light travel. The next vault awaited, hidden on a distant world ready to awaken. Liam held the crystal tightly, feeling the pulse of memory and intention. Each word he spoke was a bridge across centuries, connecting the past with the future. He whispered softly, "We carry the story forward. We speak with truth. We remember." The stars seemed to shine brighter in response. The living code of Earth was spreading, one vault at a time. And through Liam, humans were no longer forgotten. They were the keepers of knowledge, the guardians of meaning, and the voice that could awaken the galaxy. The ship moved through the dark void faster than light itself. Liam held the crystal in his hand, feeling the soft pulse of memory and energy. Every beat seemed to speak to him, reminding him that the journey was far from over. The other vaults awaited, scattered across distant worlds. Each one holding part of the story that humans had left behind. Mara sat at the navigation console, guiding them toward the next signal. "The coordinates lead to a planet in the outer rim," she said. "It is called Solara Prime. The readings are weak, but consistent. The vault is likely buried deep beneath the surface." Velra leaned over her station. "We should prepare for challenges. If this vault is like the last two, it will protect itself, and the Concord will not stop trying to seize it." Tern, sitting quietly, added, "The network is alive. Each vault may test the intentions of those who approach. We must speak only truth, or it may refuse to awaken." Liam nodded. "I understand. The words are not just tools. They are keys that measure purpose. If we try to deceive, the system will reject us." As the ship approached Solara Prime, the planet's surface came into view. Mountains of dark stone rose from glowing valleys, and a faint mist hung over deep canyons. The signal led them to a valley rimmed with jagged cliffs. Liam could feel the pulse of energy growing stronger as they descended. The landing was rough. Fierce winds whipped the ship, and the engine struggled against sudden turbulence. Finally, they touched down near a flat plateau where the signal was strongest. The cold air stung their faces, but the warmth of the crystal reassured Liam. It guided them. Pulsing softly with recognition, they exited the ship and moved toward a rocky formation. The symbols etched into the cliff were faint, partially eroded but unmistakable. Liam's pulse quickened. This vault, like Nerith and Varanfor, was waiting for someone who could speak the old language. He stepped forward, placing the crystal against the stone. The symbols began to glow, rearranging themselves into words that only he could understand. Taking a deep breath, he spoke, "Rise and remember. Let the truth of the past guide the present." The ground trembled. Stones shifted as a hidden doorway slowly opened, revealing a chamber carved into the heart of the mountain. Inside, the air was warm and still, carrying the faint scent of old metal and earth. Liam led the team inside, feeling the pulse of the vault intensify with every step. The chamber was massive. Machines, cables, and crystalline structures filled the space. Panels displayed intricate patterns that Liam recognized from the other vaults. This vault was the most complex yet. The living code had been layered over centuries, accumulating knowledge from humans who had lived long before the Concord existed. Velra's eyes widened. It is enormous. This is not just a vault. It is an entire network. Turn examine the panels. The architecture is intelligent. Each component adapts to its environment and reacts to the words of those who speak. It is alive in a way we cannot measure. Liam approached the central console. The crystal pulsed brighter, connecting to the network. He placed his hands on the surface and spoke again in the old language. "Open and reveal the memory of our people. Let the past guide us and teach those who listen with honesty." The vault responded immediately. Lights flickered and pulsed, machines whirred to life, and holograms appeared, displaying images of Earth's cities, forests, and oceans. Entire civilizations, long erased from history, came alive in shimmering patterns of light. Mara whispered, "It is beautiful. It is not just history. It is life itself." Liam nodded. The network does not store data like machines today. It preserves memory, experience, and intent. It shows what humans were capable of. Suddenly, a pulse of energy radiated through the chamber. The symbols shifted into a new message addressed to Liam alone. The network is complete when all voices awaken. Purpose guides the chain. Only those who speak with truth may unlock the final sequence. Velra looked at him. There are more vaults than we imagined. The network is larger than Nerith, Varanfor, or this world. Then the journey continues. Each vault is part of the same story. If we awaken them, the knowledge of Earth will return. Outside, the Concord fleet approached again. Drones and ships scanned the planet, prepared to seize the vault. Mara cursed. They will try to take it. We cannot let them. Liam placed the crystal on the central console. We don't need to fight. The vault will defend itself. Machines around them rose, forming barriers of energy and metal. Pulses of light shot into the sky, preventing the fleet from landing. The Concord forces hesitated, unable to comprehend the intelligent defense. Tern whispered, "It recognizes you. It is alive because you are human," Elra added. "The language is not just words. It is understanding. It can distinguish between truth and deception, intention and greed." Liam nodded. "Then we continue, but carefully. The vaults will guide us, not blindly follow orders." Inside the chamber, Liam activated the transport modules. Holograms displayed star systems showing paths to other vaults. Each location pulsed faintly, waiting for his voice. Mara leaned forward. "Do you think we can reach them all before the Concord catches up?" Liam smiled faintly. "We must. If the wrong hands take these vaults, the meaning of the old language could be lost forever." Velra examined the holograms. The next vault is on a planet called Aura 7. It is located near a dying sun. The reading suggests it is highly unstable, but the signal is strong. Liam held the crystal tightly. Then we go there. The words will guide us. The team boarded the ship. As they lifted from Solara Prime, the vault pulsed one last time, sending a wave of energy into space. It was a farewell, a recognition, and a warning. The living code had accepted them as its protectors, as the ship entered faster than light travel. Liam spoke softly to the crystal. We carry your memory. We speak with honesty. We will awaken the others. Mara watched him with admiration. You are more than a speaker. You are a guardian. The journey through the stars continued. Each vault they approached tested them in ways words could not describe. Some challenged their intentions. Some required patience and clarity, and some responded only after hours of careful speaking. With every vault they awakened, the network grew stronger. It connected the scattered remnants of Earth across distant planets, preserving the knowledge, creativity, and history of a long-lost civilization. At Ori 7, the final vault awaited. Liam felt a deep resonance as they approached. The dying sun bathed the planet in red light, casting long shadows over jagged mountains. The signal led them to a canyon filled with molten streams and crystalline formations. The vault entrance was carved into a glowing wall of crystal, its patterns shifting as Liam drew near. He placed the crystal against the surface. The symbols rearranged into flowing words. Liam spoke slowly, clearly, and with full intent. Open and let the past guide the future. Let the words of Earth awaken and remind the galaxy of what is lost and what remains.
Ow.
The vault responded immediately. Energy surged through the canyon, lighting the sky with waves of brilliance. Holograms emerged, showing not only Earth, but the network of vaults themselves, connecting stars, planets, and civilizations. The living code of humanity was complete. Liam stepped back, awed. The journey had reached its purpose. The words had not only awakened machines, they had restored memory, history, and meaning. Humans were no longer forgotten. Their language, their stories, and their legacy had returned to the stars. Outside, the Concorde fleet hesitated. The network's energy pulsed around them, not as an attack, but as a warning. The language could not be controlled by force. It recognized only truth and intent. Liam turned to Mara, Tern, and Velra. We have done it. The vaults are awake. The network is complete. The story of Earth is no longer lost. Mara smiled. Then we must protect it, so it cannot be misused. Velra nodded. The galaxy will see that humans were never gone. We just needed a voice to awaken the past, Tern added, and that voice is you. Liam, you reminded the universe that memory and meaning cannot be destroyed, only forgotten until someone speaks them again. The crystal pulsed one final time, brighter than ever. Liam held it up, feeling the warmth and the resonance of countless generations. Words from centuries past echoed in his mind. They were not just sounds, they were life, intention, and the enduring spirit of humanity. As they left Aura 7, the stars stretched into brilliant streaks. The living code of Earth now flowed through the galaxy, connecting worlds, vaults, and memory. Liam looked ahead, knowing that humanity's voice had returned, no longer silent, no longer forgotten, and never to be erased again. The words of Earth carried through the stars, awakening the galaxy with truth, meaning, and hope. Liam smiled. He whispered softly, "Hold my hand and listen. The story is ours, and it will never end." The stars shimmered as if answering him, and the living code pulsed, alive and eternal.